All right, guys. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I'm live here for another recap. Today is Thursday, and I guess I'm laughing because, look how many stocks I traded today, guys. And I'm coming out up $600, which is at my highest point in the day, P&L wise, right here toward the close, which is great. But man, what a stressful day. Again, let's take it from the beginning. I'm gonna try to make sure that this doesn't last forever, but I'll do my best here. So I think really the best way to sum up like the morning period and the kind of that first bit of trading, that first hour of trading or so, was I was really looking for something to trade, and I tried a bunch of different stocks early on, and none of them really worked. And so I put myself red on the day pretty early on, but not too badly, like down like $250 or so. I think I was down to 75 maybe. So, and it was still early in the day, and I was cutting my losses early. So in that sense, it was okay. But anyway, let's start from the beginning. The first trade I took, I might have to look at my filled orders here. So Rice was my first trade. This RICE was gapping up and looking incredibly strong here into the open. Let me see if I can enable my trades and have that working. Please, come on. There we go. So, all right. So my first trade was here on this dip. I liked that this moving average was acting as support, and stock's clearly uptrending. So I thought, okay, let me try to catch one of these higher lows and get a higher high out of it. As long as this uptrend is going. So I bought 300 shares and stopped out on the next candle as it came down here. I lost $78 on my first trade of the day. I didn't like how this came through the moving average there. And anyway, I just stopped out as it came down below this candle here, which was a good decision. I could have lost more on this as it came down to 1420, then down to 1370. So cut that loss early, which was a good thing. So all right, my next trade was Plug. So again, I'm just trying these stocks out, trying to get moves out of them. Oops, this was yesterday, so it was very weak yesterday. And today I tried to short it here as it came through VWAP here. The market was looking like it was kind of weak. The volume on this was decent at best. So anyway, I was trying to get a short on this. But this one, unfortunately, I gave this one some room up through the highs because my share size wasn't too big on this. But unfortunately, I had to actually stop out on this one as well as it came up through 32.60. I stopped out at 32.59 and lost $125 on that trade. So on the day, down 200 at that point. My next trade was on Very, which this is VERY. This one did have a good push at one point. This is another small cap name that was moving today. You can see off the open, it really had a surge. It actually hit 34 in pre-market. Anyway, this one was one that I tried. It halted going up. I was hands off. I was watching it. I bought a dip here, but got chopped out of it at 1890. I didn't really want to give this one much room. So I got out like right here at the low of this candles. It was coming down. It came right back up and had this pop up through 2050 up to 2080. So I would have been up over $160 on this trade at one point. And then it did have this break through $22 at one point, but then flushed back down and was kind of dead for the rest of the day. So this was one that I tried, got chopped out of it. Small caps scare me, and they tend to chop me out. So, well, it happens regardless. So anyway, at this point on the day, there's another $25. Not a big deal there. Then, guys, this is where it really gets interesting, all right? Again, I traded a lot today. So I tried Palantir. Okay, wait, hold on. One more. Palantir I tried. Didn't work, as you might have already guessed. Here we go. So I tried this one today. It had a really good day today, actually, very strong, up through to 2350. This one I tried as here on this dip, trying to get this to make kind of a higher low here. It surged up to 22.97. I was up over $100 on the trade at one point with 1,000 shares, so decent size there. and then it came right back down, came down here, and as it broke below this low, I stopped out at 84 here, which was the right decision. It came down and made a new low, and then it ultimately again had a really strong day after that. So yeah, oh well. You know, I'm not, you know, I got to stop out of these trades, and you know, Palantir is definitely one that can move lower, and it's not one I want to bag hold. So anyway, tried that one, didn't work. All right, then finally I started. So after that trade, down $48. At that point, I was down like 275 on the day at that point. My next trade was on Tesla, and here I got into 2 trades at once. So again, guys, I usually don't trade this many names. I traded 7 different names today, which is, you know, is a lot for me at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. That's a lot. So I tried 7 different names today. Tesla, I got long right here. Looking for kind of that higher low to be put in and for it to continue. Also, I noticed that at this moment in time, the NASDAQ was actually pretty weak, but Tesla was holding up. So I thought if the NASDAQ and the market could gain some strength, this one would be one that would really go. Right after I get in, literally right after I get in at 679, wham, right down to VWAP at 677.50. And coming down here, and I'm literally like, this happens to me a lot. I jump in a trade, and then moments later, right back down. This one wasn't too extreme. I'm only in for 50 shares, and it's pulled back into VWAP, which is support. So I'm obviously not going to cut the position, and it still looks like, you know, it can be uptrending if it puts in a higher low here, which it ended up doing. But it's just like, I remember when this came down, I literally remember saying out loud, like right here, I was just saying, you gotta be kidding me. Like, can I just catch a break? Like, it seems like every time I jump in a stock, it's just dying, which happened on, Rice, my first trade. It happened on Plug, my second trade. It happened on Very, my third trade. Palantir, my fourth trade. Every single thing wasn't working out. And now Tesla's moving against me as well. So anyway, it's just that moment of frustration. But again, sticking to the technicals and not cutting the position. So the next thing that I did was jump into a position on Twitter. Guys, this is where it gets interesting. So if you saw my recap yesterday, you know that Twitter was one that I traded yesterday. And was down on this. I shorted it, was down like 600-700. I was already down on the day. Go watch my recap yesterday, and it makes today's trade even more crazy. So on this one, right after I got in that trade on Tesla, I was flipping through stocks like, okay, I'm only in 50 shares on Tesla. Let's take a look around. The market was having that kind of moment of weakness at the same time as Tesla. Gosh, I hate how it does this. At that same time as Tesla was dipping down here, I was flipping through my other stocks, and I was looking at Twitter, and I saw it right here having this dip into VWAP, and I was like, oh, I'm a buyer into that support. I like how it's uptrending. I'm going to buy it. I bought it in at 70.30. 70.30 right here, right at VWAP. It cracks below VWAP, which is like a little concerning. I just, you know, I want it to hold. Pops back up to 70.43. I'm up over $100 on the trade for a moment. It comes up here to 70.50. I'm up like, you know, 200 on the trade at that high wick. Right back down. Crashes down through VWAP. I should have stopped out. Guaranteed. Yep, I definitely should have stopped out on this one. Held 1,000 shares of this all the way down here. It tried to come up. Failed. Rejected down here. And remember, guys, I was already down on the day, like 270 on the day. And it's coming all the way down, and I'm watching this. I'm going, oh, man. But as this one's coming down, I'm like, okay, I'm still in this trade on Tesla, too, so I got to monitor that. I flip back over to Tesla, and Tesla surges up to 683. By the time I clicked back, it had already made this move. I was like, oh my God, I got to take some profit. So I took 2/5 of the position out here, and I was like, okay, I'm going to hold the rest of the position. So at this point, I'm flipping between Tesla and Twitter. One's working out for me and the other isn't. Unfortunately, I have much bigger size on Twitter with 1,000 shares, and it's really not working for me. So down here at these lows, I'm down on the day, down on this stock, $800 800, around 800, 700, 800 down on this stock here, because it's at 69.50. My entry's at 70.30. So that's an 80-cent loss on 1,000 shares is $800. So at this point, I'm down like 1,100. I'm down like 900, 800, 900 on the day because of Tesla now working in my favor. Then I've got the $300 loss on all the other names that I failed at earlier in the morning that didn't go my way. So at this point in the day, I'm like, and I also have the context of yesterday. Again, go watch my recap yesterday, my trades on Twitter. The exact same thing happened to me again today. I take a trade on Twitter, same size, 1,000 shares. It instantly goes against me. I don't cut the position. I'm down. I'm in a world of hurt. Yesterday, the exact same thing happened to me yesterday. I took a short on it right here and was down on this surge like 600, 700 bucks, and I stopped out here. Yeah, I mean, the exact same thing happened to me here. In fact, it came up here for a moment. As it came up here, I was down on the trade like $300 on this trade, because here it's at, I was down over 300 because 69. So it's at 69.86 there. My entry was 70.30, so that's less than 50 cents. So it's down like $430 or something as it came up here. Then right back down into a fresh low, and I'm thinking, oh God, I know what I have to do. I know I have to cut this position because it's making new lows. At this point, down here at this bottom, I'm down on Twitter. I'm down $1,100. I was down over $1,000 down here, over 1,100, I remember. And I actually added to the position here at 69.61. 1,300 shares now in Twitter, and down here I'm down 1,100 on the name. And guys, check this out. It surges right back up, and I notice on this, it's not quite the volume, but you get a sense for the price action, and this surge here, this power candle up, confirmed to me that I needed to hold this position and not cut it because of the strength that it's seeing. I flip over to what the market's doing. The market is choppy the entire time this is all going on. The market is choppy, and I notice that all of a sudden Twitter goes from relative weakness to relative strength. And once I notice that, I'm like, okay, let's let this play out now. You know, there's a glimmer of hope. Again, I don't mean hope as in like, you know, I hope the stock goes up. I mean it just in the way that that is an expression or a figure of speech. So it comes up here, and now as it comes up and meets this high, I'm like, okay, well now it looks bullish because it came down, made a new low, and now it's just, you know, possibly minutes away from making a higher high after making a lower low. When you make a higher high after making a lower low, that is the first indication of a reversal in trend. So trending down, you see lower lows and lower highs, and then when you flip from trending lower to trending higher, you want to see that first higher high to be put in. So that's what we were getting here, and so that's why I thought, well, now all of a sudden it looks like maybe we're reversing. And that's what we got. And it was a slow grind higher for some time, which made me a little bit nervous. But I thought, you know what? That's okay. It's building. It's coiling for that break of VWAP and that move higher. It broke VWAP, came right back down. Again, I was nervous, caught support, and then breaking right back through. This time VWAP holds, and then we're off to the races. I took 300 shares off at 70.14, which was my new cost basis when I added those 300 shares. My cost basis went down to 70.14. So now it was actually really good because I lowered my cost basis by averaging in a little bit here. And then I took those shares out at break even, and then the rest of it I held because I was like, look, now we're uptrending, and now the target is becoming, you know, these prior highs. And as it came up through here, I was taking profits. I got out of my last 500 shares right here. I guess I just got out of the position because I didn't want to let this one go against me at any point. And while it was smooth sailing and I was in the green, I look over to my P&L. I remember being down 1,100 on this one. I look over, I'm up 300. I'm out. I'm taking my profits and I'm out. And then I flip back over to Tesla. I mean, this whole time I'm going between the two. And I'm taking profits on this one along the way, and of course, I take out my last shares, literally seconds before a surge, $3 higher, whatever. That's only $30 on 10 shares, so not, whatever. It's just one of those things where it's like, of course. Anyway, so yeah, again, back-to-back days where Twitter has just stressed me out, like really stressed me out. Back-to-back days. I mean, look at this. It's like the exact same trade reversed. Here I went short, was down 700, cut the position, went right back in, was down again on the position like 300 as it came down here. Then it started working in my favor. News came out. It surged up to almost $70. I flipped green on the stock and ended on the day up like over $400 in the green on this one, where at one point I was down 700. Today, at one point, I was down 1,100, and I never cut the position, and it trended higher for the rest of the day, and I took my profits, early in the grand scheme of things. But you know what? I'm glad I did. I'm green on the stock. I don't regret taking those shares out, and oh man. So trying to evaluate that trade is tough because it's like, yeah, I probably should have stopped out. Day traders and professionals and technicals, the right thing to do by all means is probably cut this position as it comes down and makes a new low. It's just so hard to do that. And then something like this happens where it all of a sudden gains relative strength and it screams back up to 70, 60. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't cut the position, but part of me wonders how would I have seen, I guess this is what I was looking for, but it's just tough. So anyway, the V shape, this V shape is like, that is like recovery 101 in a stock, reversal 101. When it makes that V shape, that's bullish. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And this is almost like a reverse head and shoulders too, really. You have a shoulder here, the head here, and then kind of a shoulder here, and then that move higher. So anyway, let's move on. So believe it or not, that wasn't even the last stock I traded today. One more. I walked away, and on the day, at that point, before this last trade, I was up 350 on the day. 350 on the day I was up. And then I walked away, did some other things, and then I came back in the afternoon, and I took a look at, some other stocks and was looking for, possible afternoon moves, because that's a thing, afternoon moves. And Snapchat caught my eye. Now, I was watching this one. I started watching this one as it was coming up here. And I noticed, wow, all day it's been kind of bouncing around, and it's been holding VWAP. You've got bottom, bottom, bottom. This looks bullish. I like all these bottoms being put in. It looks like, buyers are stepping up every time. And so what I was noticing is, just this setup is like really awesome. You've got a shoulder here, head here, shoulder here. Any way you want to look at it, this looks like a reverse head and shoulders every day of the week. And really all a reverse head and shoulders is just putting those bottoms in, and buyers eventually stepping up to the higher prices and carrying it higher. Guys, you've probably already noticed, look at my entry on this. Picture perfect. So this one I really hit out of the park in terms of being patient and waiting for it, because I was patient. I was watching it in here, and I was like, well, I really think that this is going to now put in that, I think it's going to put in that higher low in here and then continue and break through kind of this top area at 62.50 and have an afternoon move. And that's what I was looking for it to do. We got exactly that, but I was patient waiting for it. It was coming down, kind of having this downtrend, and then right here at this 200 moving average, I was like, this is the spot. I want it to do what I want it to do. It's got to do it now. And if it doesn't do it, then, I'll manage the position and probably get out. But it did exactly what I wanted it to do, exactly when I wanted it to do it. I got in 300 shares here, added 200 here as this was acting as support, low volume on these, and then boom, we get that move, and it's very definitive up to a new kind of level here. So we're now breaking above these tops, and the volume's coming in a little bit here, and then some crazy action on this here before the close. Actually, I will admit, it was coming up here, it slammed back down. I was only holding 100 shares left, and then right back up. I set an order. I was like, well, if we catch a pop back up to 63 here, I'll get out of my last 100 shares. Yeah, pop up to 63, back down to 96, up to 63.10 here. Anyway, so some crazy action on this, and definitely some volume there. I mean, not too crazy, but anyway. And then in after hours, it actually is now up at 63.45. So, but yeah. Anyway, another $250 to add to the day, and that puts me up $600 on the day. So at one point today, I was down over $1,000 on the day. Then, mainly through Twitter recovering and doing what it did, and me holding the position, and I guess managing it well. I mean, every day is like, these last 2 days have been stressful on that name. But yeah, some really nice definitive winners here: 323, 305, 252, and then some small losers behind it. And these are all the small losers that I traded early in the morning. You got Plug or Rice, which I tried first, Plug, then Very, then Palantir. Nothing was going my way, and then that roller coaster ride on Twitter. Anyway, so that was my day today. I traded 7 different stocks. Yesterday I traded 6 different stocks. Anyway, that's why I'm calling this recap Avoiding Disaster Part 2, because it was a disaster at one point. And it reminds me a lot of yesterday. I traded 6 different stocks yesterday. Today I traded 7 different stocks. Again, those are high numbers for me. Yeah, crazy day, every day. These last few days have seemed like they're just crazy, but I'm glad that this one ended up being a green day. And $600, I'll definitely take that, and try to continue. Trying to continue just trading well, but it's hard. I feel like right now it's rocky. I need to keep trading and really go for the setups that I think are going to work, and not jump into I think jumping into Twitter there was okay, but I think I should have taken smaller size. Anyway, so all right, that's my recap for today, guys. If you did like this recap, please hit the like button, guys. I don't know, it lets me know that you guys actually appreciate these recaps. I look after the fact, and people are watching them, and they do get likes, and so that's why I keep doing them, is because I think that they're actually helpful, and I think hopefully they're somewhat entertaining. But also, if you do enjoy these as well, then you should consider subscribing too, because I do these recaps every single day at 5:40 p.m. Eastern time every single day. If you have any questions, my Discord server link is in the description, and you can go there. There's a link you can click in there and fill out a short survey, and you can meet with me, and we can chat for 20 minutes. You can fill that form out as many times. So if we meet and then you want to do it again, just fill it out again. And I've had some good talks with people, and yeah, I always like talking stocks. So come on in, and happy to have you. Again, guys, click like on the video, and I will see you for the recap tomorrow. So see you then.